Now, if you're thinking about moving to Colorado, hold up, don't pack those bags quite yet. There are a few things you might not know, but you definitely should. From unexpected wildlife encounters to whether or not you need that fancy four-wheel drive before you move out here, these are going to be the top 10 questions that we get when we've met with like you who are relocating to the state. And this is one you're not going to want to miss because some of these are questions you might not even have thought to ask. So let's dive right into it with number one. Let's just hit one of the most popular ones that we get right out of the gate. Do you need a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle in Colorado? Now, the short answer here is yes. Is this something that you're going to need to purchase before you move to the state at all? Well, it really all depends on the type of year that you move here. And ultimately, I would say the short answer to that question is no. And to elaborate a little bit more here, guys, during the winter time, yes, you're definitely going to want a four-wheel drive. Even in the summertime, if you plan on doing any sort of driving up in the mountains or going off of a paved road at any point in time during your stay here in Colorado, which there's a good chance that you are, then yes, you are 100% going to want to get that. Now, it's not necessarily something that you guys are going to need prior to moving here. Now, even in the wintertime, we're typically only having about 7 to 10 significant snow events. Oftentimes when it snows, if you just wait late enough in the day, the roads are melting and the roads will be clear, even though there is going to be snow on the grass and the medians. Very often the roads are very drivable. However, as soon as that sun starts going down even a little bit, the temperature is going to drop quite a bit and the roads that are wet are now going to get pretty icy. So play it safe. Definitely plan on having that four-wheel drive if you are moving here in the winter. But if you move here first and maybe give it a couple weeks in order to get that four-wheel drive, you're going to be okay. Maybe just don't plan on taking the 1998 Honda Civic out in the snow because that's not going to be a good time for you.
There's this front-wheel drive. There's plenty of people here with those.
But this is definitely something that you're going to want to plan and budget for. Now, you don't need a big truck or a big Jeep or anything like that. Honestly, any sort of small SUV or even vehicle with all-wheel drive is going to be sufficient. So you don't need to get too crazy with it. Again, there's tons of people out here that just have normal cars, but I would say small SUVs are probably the most common vehicle that you're going to see out here. All right, number two, another very popular one. How does Colorado's altitude affect daily life? Now, you guys may or may not know that Denver is the mile-high city, 5,280 feet above sea level to be specific. Now, that is significantly higher than probably where a lot of you guys are coming from, and you will start to feel some effects on your visit out here or when you first move here. Now, they say that your body adjusts to the altitude in about 60 to 90 days. It should be fully adjusted. However, there might be a little time there where, yes, going up a couple flights of stairs, you might feel a little extra short of breath. You are definitely going to need to use some extra lotion out here. It is pretty dry due to the altitude, and chapstick and water as well. I'm literally never leaving my house without my water jug with me. It is very, very common in Colorado, and it has just really become habit. Now,
Babe, I got a new Nalgene bottle.
First things first.
Oh, yes, that is clean.
if I don't have my water with me, am I like dying and out of breath and feel crappy? No, not at all. You won't notice that big of a significant difference. However, just good general health practices in high altitude, definitely stay hydrated. Now, funny story with this, I was actually just going last week. We were on the main level of a home. Like, okay, do we want to go down to the basement first or do we want to go upstairs first? And I was like, hey guys, let's go upstairs, because if we go and check out the basement first and then we're ready to go check out the upstairs, that means we got to hit the basement stairs and then we got to hit the upstairs stairs. And I was like, I'm adjusted to the altitude. Maybe my cardio is just terrible, but hitting those 2 flights of stairs, yeah, you'll be catching your breath just a little bit once we get to that top level. So again, it's nothing terrible, unless you have some sort of previous health condition where you have limited oxygen supply anyway. If that's the case, definitely check with your doctor and see if high altitude is going to be a safe thing for you or not. But for the majority of us out there, yeah, you're going to feel a little bit short of breath. Honestly, that's about it. Again, lotion up, hydrate, have that chapstick, you're going to be good to go. Now, also keep in mind, if you are planning on coming out here and doing any sort of Colorado activities, such as skiing or hiking, where you're going to be in significantly higher altitude than just Denver, all the same rules apply, just triple down on the water. You'll be in good shape, guys, when you're skiing and stuff like that. If you're taking multiple days, just make sure you're getting your sleep, make sure you're not drinking too much or doing anything too crazy, because it is really taxing on your body, just skiing and snowboarding in general. And then you throw a little bit of alcohol in there, maybe a little bit of lack of sleep and lack of recovery, it might not be the best time for you.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Now, number 3, people are often curious about where some cute little like hidden gems are in Colorado, specifically neighborhoods and places to hang out. Now, one of the things I love about Colorado is how many of our cities have these cute little like downtown spots, right? For example, Arvada, Old Town Arvada, cute, historic, tons of really good restaurants and mom and pop shops. Louisville is going to have some other ones that are very similar, and then even Morrison. So Morrison is where Red Rocks Amphitheater is located. You guys have probably heard of that. If you haven't, it literally is one of the best outdoor music venues in the world. But Morrison itself has a really cute, historic downtown strip. Again, there's not a lot there, but you don't really want a lot there. That's kind of what makes it a hidden gem. But really cute coffee shops and diners, just mom and pop things, just breaking free of sort of all the chains that are out there that you can find in your own hometown, are definitely places that you're going to want to check out. On top of that, if you are looking for a good, hardish physical activity, it is always fun to go and check out the Incline. Now, the Incline is located in Manitou Springs, so that is going to be just about to Colorado Springs on the south side. But the Incline is an old, like mining, I guess you'd call it trail, but it's like railroad tracks that go just pretty much straight up the side of this mountain. It's a very, very popular destination for, I guess, fitness enthusiasts, as you could call it. What's nice about it is, man, you get to see some amazing views of the state, but man, be ready for a hike and definitely follow the rules I just told you in the previous tip about staying hydrated. And while you are down there, Manitou Springs has a downtown very similar to Morrison. So go down, hit the Incline, bring your water, have an amazing workout, and then come down into Manitou Springs, hit one of the old diners down there, get a giant stack of pancakes, replenish that glycogen, and enjoy Colorado. Now, on top of that, if we're looking for maybe a little more common, downtown Denver is getting very popular with speakeasies. One of my favorite one that's down there, it's not really a hidden gem. Everyone knows about it at this point, but it's called Williams and Graham. It is a really cool place where you go in and it looks like just a little tiny library with books and stuff on the wall. You just tell them, there used to be a passcode that you'd have to get back in the day, and then they would go and like open one of the books and there's a hidden door behind there. But man, if you're looking for handcrafted drinks in a cool speakeasy environment with some like literally world-renowned bartenders that are there, it's just a really, really cool thing to go and experience while you're here in Colorado. There also are many other speakeasies, which a simple Google search will give you access to. If you're looking for just sort of the fun, kind of out of the box downtown thing to do while you're here visiting, I definitely recommend checking one of those places out. All right, if you guys are finding these questions helpful for you, guys, we put together the ultimate Denver relocation guide. It is a 40-page PDF where we go over everything in terms of hot areas, fun things to do, common school districts, some of the best school districts, and just generally good to know Colorado information like we're going over in this video. So if you would like to get that guide, go ahead and click the link in the description below. And guys, you will get all the information you could possibly want. So with that being said, let's get back to the content. All right, now number 4, this is one that we get a lot, but that is how pet friendly is Colorado. Now, Colorado in general is a dog lover's paradise.
Can't have dogs in here unless I can come over and pet them. Boulder's got to be the most dog-friendly place in the world.
With all of the outdoor activities that there are to do, man, taking your dog along with you is one of the most fun parts about doing it. I do always like to say though, man, just be conscious and aware that, hey, when it's hot outside, the ground is hot. You could burn your little doggy's feet, right? So it is very common if you see a dog out on hiking trails with somebody that they have their little doggy hiking booties on, which are super cute. So definitely take that into consideration. Even if you are just going and having brunch downtown or something, there's a good chance that the restaurant is dog friendly, or at least it is out on the patio. There are many places and many restaurants where you'll see these outside patios and they have like a little dog watering station right there. Again, they're always taking that into consideration because so many people just love having their little friends with them on their day-to-day life. You know, make sure you're making those little accommodations for the dog. You know, if it's really cold out or really hot out, just be considerate. There's a good chance anywhere you go, you're allowed to take your dog there. Even a lot of the big stores that are out there, you'll see people with their dogs that are in them. Like, you know, Home Depot, I know, is notorious for that. That would be like obviously like a big chain one, but even a lot of like little grocery stores, little shops downtown and stuff like that. It is very common to see dogs around. So Colorado, again, very, very pet friendly. Man, if you don't have a dog when you're moving out here, there's a good chance that once you get settled into your new home, that's going to be one of the first things on your list. Now, also worth noting that so many of our parks here do accommodate off-leash dogs. There are special off-leash areas areas of these parks, or we just have a ton of dog parks out here in general. Now, in addition to breweries and restaurants often being dog friendly, there are just a lot of off-leash dog parks here as well. And for newcomers into the state, this is one of the best ways, if you are new to the state, to meet some new people and make some new friends. Everyone in Colorado, guys, is very friendly. Not everyone, but the majority of people are very friendly. There is a sort of just like chill Colorado vibe thing that we have going on out here. People, for the most part, they're friendly. They do like talking to their neighbors. And again, if you've got some doggies that are playing together, again, it is a great way to make new friends. Now, if you are in a normal park, as dog friendly as we are, these parks are very strict about leash laws, right? So if you're not in an off-leash area, one of those things is be considerate, keep your dog on the leash until you get to one of those spots, because as much as we love our dogs out here, that is something that they kind of crack down on just to prevent any incidents or anything like that. But we do love our doggies out here in Colorado, so bring them out here, bring them out with you, have some fun, let them enjoy the state just as much as you're going to. All right, question number 6, how should I prepare for Colorado weather? We already talked four-wheel drive, right? But when it comes to driving in the winter, just be extra cautious. General rule of thumb, if there's 2+ inches of snow on the road and you don't have to go out, I would avoid going out. Just general rule of thumb, try and be safe, right? Even if you're a safe driver, someone could easily slip and slide into you. The sun comes out, the temperature gets warm, and it does melt super fast. So if we ever do have a significant snowstorm, it's rare that you're not out driving the next day. All right. So I don't want to make it seem like a bigger deal than it is. You know, Colorado might surprisingly feel like pretty easy winters to you. So speaking of easy winters, let's talk about clothing and stuff like that. Now, our weather out here can change quite significantly from one hour to the next. It is key to layer up. Even in the middle of January, like it is right now, I'll be out showing homes in a t-shirt and pants. Right? I'll have a jacket in the car, maybe an extra like pullover or something like that, because once that sun goes down or even starts to go down a little bit, it is going to get significantly colder.
What's the temp? I'm just trying to decide how many layers of Patagonia to put on.
But it's not uncommon that I'm running around town wearing just a t-shirt in the middle of winter. You can easily hit mid 50s and even some 60s in the wintertime, which is crazy. And those of you guys that are coming from places with real winters like Minnesota or the Midwest, they're probably not going to be used to that. So definitely layer up, but I bet it is going to be surprisingly easy, especially if you're used to some more harsh winters. Now, if you're coming from a place like Texas or Florida, you might be a little extra chilly, right? You might be like, Eli, you're wearing a t-shirt, that is crazy, but your body definitely does accommodate pretty quickly. And I'm telling you guys, once that sun comes out, it feels like it might be early springtime. Let's talk like shoveling your driveway, right? A lot of people think you might need a big plow or snowblower or something like that. If you have a standard driveway, a shovel is going to be just fine. However, a snowblower is just fun, right? It makes the job a lot easier. Like honestly, kind of fun to go out and take care of the driveway in the wintertime. What you will have to do, like a standard neighborhood, you don't have to do your driveway. You can do your driveway. If you don't do your driveway, then you're going to drive over it. It's going to turn to ice, and then it's going to take a lot longer to melt off. Versus if you just stay on top of it, shovel it once or twice, you know, during the snowstorm or just right after, it's going to be just fine. You're also going to be responsible, and this is one that you have to do, the sidewalk right in front of your house, right? Just pretty much where your property lines are. So that's every neighbor's responsibility. You know, as people are out taking walks, or you've got moms with their strollers out there, that the sidewalks are nice and clear. So again, you definitely should do your driveway. If you don't, it's a pain, but you will have to do your sidewalk right in front. And that is kind of where a snowblower comes in handy, because it is just going to cut your time down quite a bit, and it is for sure going to save your back. All right, number 7, this one might be a little controversial, but it is definitely a topic here in Colorado, and that is, what is the cannabis culture like? It should come as no big surprise to you guys that marijuana is legal out here for both medicinal and recreational use. I know when this first came out, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, it was a lot more a worry or a concern to some, but what they have found, guys, is that, hey, it's not really impacting your day-to-day life anymore. It is something where basically here in Colorado, it has the same rules as alcohol. So you're not supposed to be smoking in public or partaking in public. You're definitely not supposed to do it while you are driving. Now, that's not to say that you won't be downtown or at a music festival or something and smell it sometimes. That will happen on occasion, but for the most part, you're going to be going about your life and not see anything different out here. Now, it is something that is limited to pretty much downtown and maybe a little bit of the surrounding areas, but for the most part in our suburban neighborhoods, the Castle Rocks, the Highland Ranches, the Parkers, you're not going to see dispensaries there. So if you're living in downtown or in Denver, yes, you're going to see some, especially on South Broadway. There are quite a bit of dispensaries located in that area. But for the most part, unless you're going to look for it, you're not really going to encounter it. So if you're for it, awesome. You're going to have plenty of that to do out here. If you're not for it, also awesome. It shouldn't really impact your day-to-day life very much. Now, number 7, what's the deal with the Colorado wildlife? Do I need to watch out for bears and mountain lions all the time? Good news for you. The answer is no. It is extremely uncommon to encounter any sort of major predator like that. You know, I was talking to a guy just yesterday. He was a construction manager out in Sterling Ranch. This guy does like gold mining for fun. So he literally is in the mountains all the time on all these trails, really off the beaten path where you would expect you would see some mountain lions. He's lived in Colorado his whole life, and he said he has only seen a mountain lion out on a trail twice. He said, and both those times it was like a real quick, the mountain lion jumped across the trail. It was not interested in him whatsoever. And he said it literally is like seeing a ghost if you see a mountain lion. Definitely not something that you're going to have to be concerned about on your day to day. Now, if you do live up in the mountains and you have dogs, I would not necessarily put them outside super late at night unsupervised or just let them run around, especially if you have small animals. Then I think that might be a different story. You might not see the mountain lion, but your dog definitely might. Now, if we're looking at bears and things like that, you know, once in a while, you might see someone that lives near the foothills catch on their ring cam a bear that happened to walk by. But again, they're most likely looking for trash. They most likely got lost and stumbled into the area. If they do end up in some suburban area, animal control comes out, they neutralize the bear, and then they don't kill them. They literally put them to sleep, and then they relocate them. Now, as far as some other maybe more common encounters, you know, there are coyotes out here. We do have some foxes and things like that. There are birds of prey out here. So if you have like a real tiny dog or something like that, man, that might be something you want to watch out for if you have your animals out late at night. There are snakes out here on trails up in the mountains. There are, you know, rattlesnakes in Colorado. But again, for the most part, you're not going to see these in typical suburban areas. Now, one of the best things about Colorado is because it is such an arid climate, you're not going to have bugs and insects and things like that. If you live near water or a lake, sure, you're probably going to get some mosquitoes in the spring and summertime. There is, for some reason, during the springtime, we will have about 3 to 4 weeks where there's a lot of moths out here. Apparently, Colorado is in some sort of moth migration path. There will be a little short moth season, which is kind of gross. Some people don't mind it. Some people hate moths. All in all, guys, we don't have a lot of bugs out here. We don't have a ton of spiders. Snakes are going to be on trails, but again, if you're going to the mountains, yes, use a little extra caution just in general. If you're camping, definitely keep your trash away from your tent. Lock it up in your vehicle or something like that, or just dispose of it wherever the campsite tells you to dispose of it. Food is really going to be the big thing that's going to draw bears and things like that. But Colorado, guys, is really good, especially compared to a Texas or Florida where there are just way more predators out there and seemingly have a lot more impact on sort of day-to-day living. You're not going to find a lot of that out here. All right, next up, are there any sort of unspoken rules here in Colorado, right? Like sometimes the state that you live in might culturally just be a little bit different. Things handled a different way than your other state. Guys, I would just say in general, Colorado, the only time you may find some like, I guess, snooty people or, hey, you didn't follow the rules is if you're on like a biking trail or a hiking trail and you've got the wrong bike. Like if you have an e-bike on regular bike only trail, yeah, you're probably going to get some dirty looks, right? I'm not in that whole world. If you're in it, you might have a better understanding of sort of the unspoken rules and general etiquette. But for the most part, like I mentioned earlier, guys, I'd say if there's one sort of unspoken thing here in Colorado, man, it's kind of a place where you can chill out, right? Like regardless of people's political beliefs, like we're a very purple state, we're a very blended state. What everyone seems to agree upon is that, hey, Colorado just goes at a little bit of a different pace. They do have sort of, you know, work hard, play hard mentality here where Monday through Thursday, I'd say people are kind of getting after it, but then a lot of them are going up to the mountains for their 3-day weekends, and everybody out here loves the outdoors. You don't have to go do a lot of outdoor things like us, like we're busy with families and working and stuff like that. I don't experience the outdoors a ton outside of showing homes to you guys. But with that said, there is just chill vibes out here. So if you hold the door open for someone, they're likely to say thank you, right? If someone holds the door open for you, it's nice to say thank you back. This is a place where in the grocery store, it's not uncommon to smile and nod to somebody. I go in some other states and you do that and they're looking at you like you're weird. Colorado is not one of those places. I would just say if we have any sort of etiquette rules out here, it's just general etiquette. You can take a little chill pill, right? Relax a little bit. In traffic, it's rare to see road rage. If you turn on your blinker, someone most likely is letting you in. It's just a place you can kind of take a deep breath, enjoy the mountain views, go hit one of the breweries and enjoy what Colorado has to offer. All right, guys, that is it I think that was 8 or 9, maybe 10. I can never keep track, but hopefully you guys found this video informative, and hopefully this gave you some questions that you may not have thought to ask yourself. So just a reminder, guys, we are licensed real estate brokers, and as much as we love making these videos, we'd love more to help you with your real estate needs. So there's a number popping up on the screen below. If you want to throw us a phone call, text message, or email, we'd love to jump on a Zoom call with you and help you plan your move to Colorado. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.